Tonight's story is here to bring you warmth and a peaceful night. The Joyful Friendship of Borage and Angelonia. This story is about a joyful friendship between a kind-hearted girl and a shy hedgehog, powered by their journey of mutual discovery and happiness. Once upon a time, deep in the heart of an enchanted forest, there lived a kind-hearted young girl named Shell. Borage had a radiant smile that could light up the gloomiest of days, and her laughter sounded like tinkling bells. She was known throughout the forest for her boundless joy and her unwavering kindness to all creatures, big and small. One such creature was a tiny hedgehog named Angelonia. Angelonia had soft, spiky quills and curious little eyes that gleamed with wonder. She had always been shy and reserved, preferring to lie away in sheltered nooks of the forest. But Borage's warmth and vibrant energy had slowly drawn Angelonia out her shell. One golden autumn afternoon, Borage decided to take a walk through the forest, humming a cheerful tune. As she wandered along the mossy path, she suddenly heard a soft, hesitant rustling in the fallen leaves. Borage paused and knelt down, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. From under a cluster of ferns, Angelonia cautiously peeked out. "Hello, Angelonia," Borage greeted, her voice as soothing as a gentle breeze. The hedgehog blinked up at her, shyly inching closer. "Would you like to join me on my walk?" Borage extended her hand patiently. After a moment's hesitation, Angelonia nodded, feeling the first hints of joy spreading within her. Together, they walked through the forest, Borage sharing stories of her adventures and Angelonia listening intently, her little paws pattering softly beside her friend's footsteps. They came across a sunlit meadow that seemed to sparkle with hidden fairy dust. Borage twirled round, her dress catching the light, and Angelonia couldn't help but let out a tiny giggle. Encouraged by this, Borage spun her way to a patch of wildflowers and began to pick the loveliest blooms. "Here," she said, weaving a crown of flowers and placing it gently on Angelonia's head. "You're a queen of the forest." Angelonia's eyes widened, and a shy but unmistakable smile spread across her face. For the first time, she felt genuinely happy and confident. They spent the rest of the day in the meadow, playing games and weaving more floral crowns. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with hues of pink and gold, Angelonia shared a secret with Borage. "I was always afraid that I wouldn't be accepted," she admitted softly. Borage knelt down and looked into her friend's eyes. "You're special, Angelonia. Everyone in the forest loves you because you're kind and gentle. Never doubt your worth." With those words, Angelonia felt a warmth bloom in her heart, driving away all her fears. The duo walked back home, the forest enveloped in twilight. From that day onward, Angelonia was no longer afraid to step out of her comfort zone. She joined Borage in all her forest escapades, spreading joy wherever they went. The friendship between Borage and Angelonia became a beacon of happiness in the enchanted forest, and their bond grew stronger each day. The forest creatures celebrated their friendship, and the tales of their adventures were told for generations. And so, Borage and Angelonia lived happily, their hearts forever intertwined with the joy of true friendship. Let's explore the next peaceful journey. Frisia and Puppy's Adventure of Inspiration. This story is about Frisia and her charming animal companion Puppy, who together discover the true source of inspiration lies in the everyday beauty around them. In a quaint village nestled between emerald meadows and azure babbling brooks, lived a young girl named Frisia. Frisia with hair as golden as the first light of dawn and eyes that sparkled like the summer sky, spent her days drawing inspiration from the world around her. She loved listening to the symphony of birds each morning, and her heart danced to the whispering winds that rustled through the verdant treetops. But Frisia was special, not just for her vivid imagination, but because she had a charming animal companion named Puppy. Puppy, remarkably unlike any ordinary animal, was an ethereal creature with fur as soft as the petals of the poppy flower he was named after, and eyes that glittered like stardust beneath the moonlit sky. Puppy had a unique challenge. He could infuse the world with life and wonder. Each day, when Frisia felt the weight of an artist's block, Puppy would gently nudge her hand, encouraging her to explore the unseen beauty in her surroundings. One gentle autumn evening, while the sun painted the horizon in hues of amber and rose, Frisia sat on a moss-covered rock by the brook, her sketchbook resting on her lap. Frustrated by her inability to capture the serene beauty around her, she sighed deeply. Puppy, sensing her despair, trotted over and laid his head on her knee. "Don't be disheartened, Frisia," Puppy said in a voice as soft and melodic as a lullaby. "Sometimes the best inspiration comes when you least expect it." Frisia smiled, her spirits lifting slightly. With a twinkle in his eye, Puppy fluttered his wings, which shimmered like molten gold in the setting sun, and whispered, "Close your eyes and listen." As Frisia closed her eyes, the world fell silent, except for the tranquil burble of the brook. Slowly, she began to perceive more the rustling of distant leaves, the sweet song of a hidden nightingale, and the light patter of squirrels playing nearby. Her mind blossomed with unseen wonders, and ideas floated like dandelion seeds through her thoughts. When she opened her eyes, it was as if she was seeing the village anew. The once ordinary meadows were now fields of dreams, swaying blossoms telling stories of far-off lands and adventures. The brook's shimmering surface reflected the intricate tapestry of life that thrived around it. With renewed fervor, Frisia let her pencil dance across the paper, capturing the essence of every fleeting moment. Days turned into weeks, and Frisia's visions filled the walls of their cozy cottage. Her heart spoke of the enchantment Puppy had shown her, and soon the village came alive with inspiration. People traveled from distant lands to experience the magic embodied in Frisia's creations. Through her art, they felt the same whispers of the wind, the call of distant forests, and the mesmerizing glow of twilight. Frisia brimmed with joy, for she knew the true power of inspiration lay not just in seeing, but feeling the beauty of the world. And at the heart of it all was Puck, her guide and muse, who proved that sometimes the greatest adventures of inspiration come from the everyday moments that we simply need to truly see and feel. The new chapter begins to bring you peace. Tansy and the Wise Old Owl. This story is about Tansy, a curious young girl, who learns the value of patience through a wise story told by her owl friend, Sage. In a small village, nestled between lush hills and vibrant meadows, there lived a kind-hearted young girl named Tansy. Tansy was known throughout the village for her curiosity and her radiant spirit, always eager to explore the world around her. Yet, there was one lesson she struggled with: patience. Often, Tansy's excitement would lead her to rush for tasks, missing the beauty and lessons that came with taking one's time. One evening, as the sun began to set and painted the sky with hues of pink and orange, Tansy sat by the ancient oak tree at the edge of the village. Her beloved companion, a wise old owl named Sage, perched on a lower branch, observing her with gentle, knowing eyes. Sage had been a part of Tansy's life for as long as she could remember, offering wisdom and comfort when needed. Sensing the restlessness in Tansy, Sage cleared his throat with a soft hoot. Dear Tansy, have I ever told you the story of the patient flower? Tansy shook her head, her eyes wide with anticipation. Please tell me, Sage, she pleaded. And so, Sage began his tale. Once upon a time, in a meadow not too far from here, there was a beautiful flower named Rose. Rose bloomed like no other, her petals a deep, enchanting red. However, Rose was often impatient, always wanting to grow faster and reach the sun quicker than the others. As Rose pushed herself too hard, she began to wilt, for she had not taken the time to soak in the nutrients from the soil and the warmth from the sun. Seeing Rosie's struggle, a wise old tree named Cedar offered some advice. Dear Rose, nature's beauty lies in its patience. Take your time, and you will grow even more splendidly. Understanding Cedar's words, Rose decided to heed the advice. She let herself absorb the rich soil, the gentle rain, and the sunlight, slowly and steadily. In time, Rose bloomed brighter and more magnificently than ever before. Sage looked down at Tansy, who was lost in thought. Do you see, Tansy? This allows us to absorb life's beauty fully. Tansy nodded slowly, her heart absorbing Sage's wisdom as deeply as Rose had absorbed the earth's blessings. From that day forward, Tansy practiced patience in everything she did. She spent longer hours enjoying her walks through the meadows, appreciating the vibrant colors of the flowers and the gentle hum of the bees. She took her time with her chores and studies, finding joy in each moment. And in doing so, she discovered a deeper connection to the world around her. The village noticed the change in Tansy. Her tasks were done with more care. Her laughter was more frequent, and there was a serene glow about her. She will often suffer company, drawn by her newfound calmness and the radiant energy she exuded. And whenever someone asked Tansy the secret to her tranquility, she would smile and say, "Patience is a flower that blooms only when the gardener tends to it with care." Sage, watching over her from his perch, would hoot in agreement, proud of the lesson his young friend had learned. Thus, Tansy's story of patience spread throughout the village, inspiring many to embrace the beauty of taking their time and savoring the journey, not just the destination. The new chapter begins, soft and sweet. Colette and Euphorbia, a tale of trust. This story is about a girl named Calla and a wise beetle named Euphorbia, who form a deep bond through trusting care as they protect and nurture a delicate bird egg. Once upon a time in a lush, green forest, there lived a young girl named Calla. Her house was a quaint, little cottage nestled between ancient oaks and blooming wildflowers. Every morning, Calla would greet the deceased Feathles with a bright smile and a cheery hello. Her best friend in the entire forest, however, was a wise old beetle named Euphorbia. Euphorbia had shiny, emerald green carapace and tiny antennae that twitched whenever he was curious. Despite their differences, Calla and Euphorbia shared a special bond based on trust and respect. One warm summer day, while Calla was exploring the outskirts of the forest, she stumbled upon an abandoned bird's nest. Inside the nest was a single blue egg, trembling slightly. Without hesitation, Calla carefully scooped up the egg and decided to bring it back to her cottage. Knowing the egg needed warmth and protection, she wrapped it in the coziest blanket she could find. As days went by, Calla and Euphorbia took turns keeping the egg safe. They talked about the life growing inside and how they could take care of it together. Euphorbia was always there to offer wisdom on the right temperature and how to keep predators away. One moonlit night, as they were keeping watch, a strong wind blew through the forest. The window of Calla's cottage burst open, and the egg was tossed from its safe place. Panic-stricken, Calla ran outside, searching frantically in the darkness. Euphorbia, with his keen eyesight and quick reflexes, scuttled ahead, guiding Kawa towards the egg. Miraculously, they found it nestled safely in a patch of soft moss. Relieved, Kawa and Euphorbia brought the egg back inside and made sure it was secure. The very next morning, the egg began to crack. Tiny fragments fell away, revealing a delicate baby bird. Kawa and Euphorbia were overjoyed. They named the bird Aster, and from that moment on, they dedicated themselves to caring for their new friend. Ella learned to trust Euphorbia's wisdom more deeply with each day. Euphorbia, in turn, admired Callan's courage and kindness. Time passed, and Aster grew strong enough to fly. On the day Aster spread his wings and soared into the sky, Calla and Euphorbia watched with pride. They knew that their trust in each other had made everything possible. As Aster circled back to them one last time before joining a flock of birds, Calla and Euphorbia held a silent promise in their hearts. I'll always be there for each other, come what may. And so, in the heart of the lush, green forest, a girl and a beetle continued their journey, forever united by trust and love. Good night, may your heart be calm and light.